Another game with Unzicker.
Yeah, it happened. It was very rare to have such a possibility to play against the same opponent in some other important tournament, and to realize again a norm, a grandmaster norm. It happened the same situation like in Tel Aviv, but in a different tournament, in the European Team Championship in Hamburg.
But this
And
time you play with white.
I played with white, yes. And I had to try to win, to make the norm, the final norm, the second norm, you see. I had the second norm against Petrosian and against Unzicker. In these two games, it was very important to win
And this
against
was?
Unzicker and make draw against Petrosian. It was enough. And okay, we'll see the game against Unzicker, where I had to demonstrate with white how I can have a good chance to try to win. I played c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, Nimzowitsch. And again, like in my game against Bobby later on in Havana, I played the move f3. This is the Zemish attack against Nimzowitsch. d5, a3, takes in c3, takes in c3, c5. And we have one of the main lines of this game. I took in d5, and he took back with the knight, not with the pawn, with the knight. And now is very sharp. The position is very sharp. c4 is not good. e4 is unclear. So the best move is considers queen c2. Queen c2, f5. Now everything will be forced because white has to try to show that he has a strong initiative and better position. But everything was, my analysis from home and Unzicker's analysis for black also from home. So we'll see what happens later on. e4, takes, queen takes with check. Knight takes e3, loses immediately if he didn't take with the queen. If he takes with the knight after bishop d2, he loses a piece. So queen takes, bishop d3, of course. Knight d7. He attacks immediately the knight from the pawn from c5, and threatens also bishop knight e5. So now, what can you do? You have to attack immediately. I mean, he attacks immediately the pawns from c5. You have to protect it. There's a bishop e3. Bishop e3. Now knight e5. Everything is theory, as I told you before. Analysis from home, home analysis. Bishop c2 and knight c4. Now it seems that black has already very strong position, But here white is clearly better, and he shows it just in a few moves.
Even so, the pawns doesn't look.
Yes, it looks a little bit, unclear, let's say, but white has clear advantage here, So everything is forced. Bishop d2, this is a very strong move. Now he has to take. Takes, and now the only move, knight b5. Otherwise you lose the knight,
Yes.
So, yeah, knight b5, knight f3. Now it's clear why white is better, because now the white knight comes to e5 in a fantastic position, has control over the whole board, and black knight from b5 has no good square, no good squares. He will be forced to come back in c7 in a very defensive position, and white has a clear edge. Much better. Bishop d7, bishop d3, and now what can he do? If he makes, if he castles the other side, he has weakness in b7, b file. The advantage from white is decisive already. The only way to try to resist a little bit is with castle queen side.
So defending the pawn with a king.
Yeah, but it's very, very bad position already. Yeah. So a4, knight c7, everything is forced. Knight e5. Look at now the position. The position from the opening, a few moves, before that, and the position from now. The position from now is fantastic for white. White has complete domination all over the board. The knight from e5 is very, very strong. Complete initiative and attack on the queen side. he threatens already rook b1, the other rook from h1 to b1, and the king in e3, control all over the board, The squares f4, d4 are controlled. The knight from e5 can't be removed. The threat is already c6, bishop b5, fantastic position. Yeah? And rook f8. Yeah, okay, king e3. Now,
Cutting the options.
what can he do? The only move, rook e8, rook b1, and rook e7. He has to wait. No, he has to wait. So now I played the strongest move, probably bishop b5, and again the only move for black is to wait again. Bishop e8. Otherwise, he can resign. If he takes in b5, he can resign in a few moves.
You will take with the pawn, I guess.
I take with the pawn. Let's say if he takes, for instance, instead of bishop e8,
yes.
If he takes it with the bishop in b5 after a takes b5, we're threatening to take immediately in a7. He has to. The only move is here, king b8, because a6 is very weak also. And now we win with two moves, or b6 or a6 or c6. After 6-6, we are threatening already knight d7 check, which is deadly, for black. If he moves b6 after knight d7, he resigns immediately. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But what can he do? No. If he takes again,
The
check
same.
in there, it's the same. The game is finished here. No. So he cannot take in b5. It's clear.
Yes.
He has to wait. If he takes with the knight, it's the same. Instead of bishop takes b5, knight takes b5, a takes b5, and we have the same threat. B6 or c6. Again, terrible position for black. So he played the only move. The king is back to c8.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I mean okay. Now the only move, bishop e8. Okay, I played c6, and I was, I was winning in this position. I was already sure that I win. I didn't know in how many moves in this kind of position. But again, instead of c6, probably white wins also with the normal move, knight c4, threatening the deadly check in d6. This wins also, Yeah. Okay, I played c6, which is clearly probably even the best move here, and he took in c6. And now again, I could take back in c6, and I win in every position, But I move back the bishop, thinking that the position is completely Zugzwang for black. It's so completely Zugzwang if you play the bishop not in e2 but in d3. If you play in d3, he can resign in a few moves. But from this moment, I played bishop e2, and it's unbelievable. But from this moment, you have to win again the game for second time. Why? Because in this position, because of my king from e3, he has a fantastic move which gives a little bit of counterplay for black. And the move is rook f5. He gives a rook, he gives a rook, and now you have to take in f5. And now it's very unclear. Okay, white is still better, but is compared with the other possibilities, is very unclear. So he takes back, and now you have to do something. He has a pawn, king f4, the best move.
You have a rook here, extra.
Hey, you have a rook, but you lack the good coordination for your pieces. Yes. So now knight d5 check is very good. You have to take, g6 check. You move back the king. Knight c3 check. Everything is forced. Knight c3 check. And king d3. And I consider that I win again. Okay, he took in e2 and he took in e5, and that is winning for white, of course. Now you move the king, and now he played c5 and rook e1, and the game is finished. It's exchange up for nothing, and he took in a4, rook a1, and he resigned. But it's unbelievable because you had to win the second time practically, no?
Yes.
Yeah. But not only this, okay, I became grandmaster. Everybody was very happy. Everything was beautiful and so on. And after many years, when I wrote the books,
Yeah.
I control the position and my analysis with the computer, and the small machine found a fantastic way to try to save the game for black, by taking the rook from b1. It seems that you lose finally a piece when you take in b1, not in b5. We can
So instead
go
of
back.
taking the bishop
Yeah,
here,
instead of taking the bishop, he could take the rook from b1. It seems that he loses finally a piece after bishop g4 check.
bishop
G4 check, yes.
check.
And now what can you do? You have to move the king. You have to move the king, and now after knight c4, it seems that you can resign immediately. Yeah.
After knight here.
Yeah. But it's not so clear, because now after bishop f7, after bishop f7, it's not clear at all. If you take the rook, rook takes b1, bishop takes c4 check, king takes, and the rook e4 check, and he recaptures the piece from g4. And black saves the game, he's even better here.
Yes.
So finally it was, the difference from the human way of playing,
yes,
and the computer way of playing, The grandmaster, black, considered he is completely lost and he took in d2.
yes.
And finally, we could see later on, after so many years, that maybe black could save the game by taking in b1. It's but it was my mistake, of course. If I play bishop d3 instead of bishop e2, white wins in all variations, and very easy also.
Because he cannot make this sacrifice.
Yeah, he cannot make the sacrifice.
That sacrifice here
But not only this, I could take.
Nice.
Yeah, I could take in c6, also winning in all variations. Bishop e2 was really a mistake. It seems that I win immediately after bishop e2, but it's not true.
So here actually...
Here is... I could take. Yeah, I could take. It's crushing position for black,
Yeah.
He's no counterplay at all, You are threatening everything, and he's lost in all variations, And this is Zugzwang, of course. Here is no counterplay at all. If he takes in c6, it's terrible. If he doesn't take in c6, it's also terrible. For instance, if he doesn't take in c6, you're threatening already bishop b7 check, king d8, and rook d1 check. I can imagine what happens there.
Yeah.
What's probably the best move was to take immediately in c6. But if you play bishop d3, compared with our game, black is already in Zugzwang, has no moves at all, because rook f5 is not more possible.
Yeah.
Everything was possible because of the bad position from the white bishop in e2. If the white bishop is in d3, winning in all positions. So I found the only way to play a bad move. To play a bad move.
To have a nice sacrifice from the opponent.
Yeah. But after rook f5, a fantastic move,
Yes.
He's forced, of course, because if he doesn't play rook f5, he can resign. But after rook f5, it's not clear.
There was more
the
fireworks.
GM norm was in danger, after rook f5.
All right.
You had some funny moments. Yeah.
True. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.